We also have Daniel J. Cash Goga. Dan Goga has worked in the security industry for 8 years and currently also works as a penetration tester with Core BTS. Please give a round of applause for Daniel and Langston.
Thank you so much. We are very excited to be here. This is our third time at DEF CON and our first time speaking in the social engineering community. So we're very excited. As she just mentioned, I'm Langston Clement, aka Shaq. I've been in this industry for about 15 years, and I love everything red teaming, physical pen testing. So we got some fun stories for you.
And I'm Dan Goga, aka J Cash, and like she mentioned, security industry for 8 years, and did pen testing for 3 years now, and I love it. So whenever we're tasked with a physical penetration test, the first thing we ask ourselves is, what are we going to wear for this engagement? And there's a few common tried and true approaches, one being the IT printer technician. So this is great because you can walk into a building and plug in devices and people aren't really going to pay much attention to you. And if you're acting weird, most people also won't pay much attention to you. Also, the delivery personnel, this is great because you can show up to a building without any prior notice and people aren't going to really expect it or expect you to give a really good reason why you're there. And you can get in, get out really quickly. And of course, the security guard approach, which is great because by wearing one of those stupid fake security uniforms you can get on Amazon, you immediately give yourself a sense of authority. And if someone approaches you, you can just turn the question back on them like, well, who are you and why are you here? And then, of course, the construction worker is great because you can get in and out of buildings at weird side entrances at weird times and sort of irregular times. But the thing about all these is that they don't always give you a good, persistent cover story for why you're in the building. So we came over the way of, why don't we just cosplay as a real company employee? Specifically a company employee that's has a ton of company pride and loves to show off all of their stupid free polo shirts and tumblers that they get from the marketing department. So just to give you an idea of how easy it is to find all of those freebie shirts and giveaways that people get at their company, just a few quick, easy searches on eBay, you'll find a classic HP printer technician shirt, a Geico Peter Millar shirt that's someone's trying to get, a few bucks for after a few years of their company. Also, this crazy Pepsi weird jacket or whatever, that is probably over the top and we would not wear that, but it's still kind of cool. So maybe there's a use case for it. And then of course we came across this week, the Flamingo Tennis Club. So I don't know, we've never done a pen test for the Flamingo, but maybe we might use that to get by the front gate. And then Amazon worker polo shirts, these are super easy to find, almost scarily easy. And they would probably work at almost any building in the country. And then, of course, this Xerox printer shirt, by the looks of it, whoever wore this has seen a lot of printer nightmares and printer meltdowns. So they're trying to get $20 back for all of those hours.
So when we were doing recon for one of our pen tests, Dan actually found this really sweet eBay find, and it was the company that we're targeting, right? And they had teamed up with a famous football team that we will not name. And he's like, hey, look at this, it's size medium, which is perfect. That was my size. And when I looked at the condition, I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's excellent condition, likely unused. So I was like, oh, okay. So maybe I'll wash it, maybe I'll dry clean it before I get it. So it was only $21.99 and $6.20 for shipping and handling. That was perfect. I was like, absolutely. So it arrived pretty quickly. And it was the absolute perfect button down to wear on this engagement. Now, when we, talk about outside of eBay, right, you're looking for stuff, there are a lot of third-party shops that actually handle merchandising for their company swag, right? And we've all seen this before, right? And this is the perfect cartoon for this because, they'll take the logo, they'll slap it on literally everything and anything that they can for no reason, absolutely, right? And there's just stuff all over the place and you can easily go find it. So some tips for that when you're actually looking up for your third party stuff, we always recommend starting here. Okay. So as we've done this over the past couple of years, there are some very interesting places that actually will do a lot of third-party merchandising for a lot of companies. In the US, there's this place called brightstores.com. And if you actually take your target name, right, and you put that as the subdomain to mybrightsites.com, you might get lucky, and then it's just going to reveal a swag shop, and it handles all of the swag, right? And in this case, this is literally the example of the website on their demo website, but the Garden Real Estate, and it'll literally just show up like this, and there's just tons of stuff you can do and buy, right? Now, with the international, there's a company called Jappy, and they basically do the same thing. So you can enumerate this ahead of time, and then you can get ahead of it and probably try to order something a couple weeks out, right, before you actually have to do your physical pen test. Now, there are pros and cons of this situation with a third-party resource, right? So the pros are that you're going to get the exact swag that the company has, right? You're going to match one-to-one of what they produce and sell to their own employees. But a lot of times when you come across this, the cons are that there's a minimum order, right? There's a quantity order. And I literally just found this like 2 weeks ago. There's this company is selling handy pack tissues, and the minimum order was 2,500 tissues with the company logo on it. Why would anybody want tissues with the company logo? I have no idea. But, you know, unless you have $8,725 for your red team engagement, I don't know who you work for. I don't know what your budget is, but most likely that's going to be way too much, right? So you sort of have to find these things. If you find them in the third party section, then you have to make sure that, you know, there's either no minimum quantity order, or, you know, if there's a 5, you know, shirt order or something like that, that might be more feasible.
Right. So it's important if you are working on an internal team that you implement some type of control over those stores. So again, we literally went to the company website, the company official website, and ordered their merchandise. And this really should be controlled. And there definitely needs to be some services offer a control or some account code that you give employees or the marketing team when they need to buy merchandise. So things like Shopify, that's any business that uses Shopify, there's almost no controls over it, but there are some extra settings like that log on restrict store content feature where you can implement a control or a access code for all of those valuable tissue packs. And then it's also good to implement some type of merchandising policy that accounts for third-party purchasing, so people can't do what we do.
All right, so let's say that everybody set up their store correctly. You need official company email and password, your internal account codes, your team stuff, and you just can't get in, or you just can't order that sweet swag from that company. What are we gonna do? All right, well, obviously the title of this, right? We're gonna start off with, this is Company X. This is our fake company that we've designed for this. We have stickers of Company X after in the hallway if you want some, but this is our logo that we're gonna go with, right? And what you need to do, all right, if you've never really dealt with any graphic design or anything like that, when you're looking for the logo, it's very easy, all right? You're just going to Google something, Company X, logo transparent. That's going to show up with a nice little white and gray checker background. Usually a PNG file's good. If you can't find that, a lot of times the company just has press kits ready available with all the logos for you to download right away. And then if not, then you can also go to the commons.wikimedia.org. They have tons of logos as well, right? So it's not going to be hard for you to find it. Now, what about VistaPrint? Can you upload an image for me? All right, so in the facts page is like, no, unfortunately we can't, but you know, as long as you have the appropriate rights to the image and you represent, and then there's a bunch of terms and conditions. Now, trust me when I say, you know, if you looked at the history of my VistaPrint order, you probably think I'm a professional bank robber. Like, it's very scary if somebody actually found that, right? And as long as you have a rules of engagement letter, you know, that doesn't explicitly say that you can't use their logo for anything, then you're good to go. So let's figure out even what we should be, you know, designing in the first place. So when you're going to target your gear, it's very easy to go to Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of those sources, they're going to post up, company picnics, volunteering events, anything like that. And you're going to be able to see exactly what kind of swag the company's wearing. So if you do actually know when an event's happening, you could actually, go to it, or you could show up with the same exact gear that they have on, and you can blend right into the environment. So you're always going to be able to find pictures of people in the exact color polo or jackets or anything like that you want. And then when you go to VistaPrint, it's the favorite part. You just go shopping, right? You just pick anything, literally jackets, vests, polos, anything like that. And this next part is really hard, so try to follow me along, right? Then you have to upload an image into the internet, and that's it, right? So all you have to do is grab your picture, of your actual logo. You're going to upload it to VistaPrint, right? So that's the only skill set you need to do this. And then it's going to convert it to stitches, and you can adjust your logo size. Now, as you can see, this Company X logo is black on black. That's not really going to work, right? We want people to see that we have like the actual company logo there. So luckily, you can quickly pick your thread colors. And it's really neat if you have multiple colors in your logo, it will actually allow you to select different colors per thread. So you can mix and match, get really fun with it. And then all you need to do is just preview it right before you buy it, and you can adjust it. Make sure that the logo's within the safety area, right? And the bleed mark, that's just basically allowing you to make sure when the machine embroiders it or prints it, that it doesn't cut off your logo. And then 2 to 4 weeks, you say ooh now. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Super easy to do. So now we have official Company X gear on. And it was that simple of downloading a picture and just putting it on. So we got some tips for you because we've definitely had some faux pas before, but we'll explain these.
Right. So it's easy to go crazy in that VistaPrint store and buy everything. So don't get greedy and don't show up like you just robbed the store. So if you are targeting a financial firm, you don't need to show up dressed like Jonah Hill from The Wolf of Wall Street. And
yeah, and I mean, again, don't buy literally everything in the store, right? Don't get the water bottle, all the tissue packs and the pens and the hats, and you're just decked out in all the gear and you look ridiculous, right? You're going to stand out like a sore thumb. And make sure that you mix and match, right? So we've actually done this before where we both had on basically the same exact thing, right? And we definitely stuck out. And then we learned after that we should change the color. So then maybe Dan will have a navy blue one on, and then I'll have like a gray one on, and we'll switch the colors so that it looks like, we just got them from different time periods or anything like that. And the last tip, obviously, just don't show up to it if it doesn't fit you, right? If you just don't feel comfortable in it or it just doesn't match like your look, just don't show up. And you got to feel confident and comfortable in the new clothing because you want to make sure that you're going to just blend right into the environment. All right, so we have some fun actual reactions that we've gotten from the clients that we've done this with. And the first one was actually someone asked me, what size are you? Can I have that when you're done? And that was actually specifically to that eBay one because apparently it was super rare find, and it's like, where did you get that? And I was like, we're not even done the engagement. We're trying to explain all the things that we just did to the company. It's like, maybe we focus on network security first and tell you like what's wrong with your network before you take the shirt off my back.
And also, we could tell that those shirts aren't ours because ours are not nearly as nice as the ones you've made.
Then another client reported us and said, they called up the person that were in charge and said, well, what do they look like? And the teller responds, have you ever seen Men in Black? I think you had the Ray-Bans on that day, and, I could be Will Smith, you're Tommy Lee Jones. I'm from Philly, so I guess that makes sense, yeah. All right.
Yeah, we leaned into that one maybe a little too much. And also, yeah, you're going to need to send me those after this engagement. Those look too real.
All right. And then the last one, this is my favorite one. The person said, no one actually would wear this at this firm. You guys look like a bunch of dweebs. Which is really funny because we had used the swag to get in 3 different locations and we were on the call, and we were trying to explain that, but they just called us out on that in the beginning, which is pretty funny. All right, so we got some stories here, some, actual seen in real life. So, theoretically, I guess, Dan, if you were to take this company swag that you just made, you could do a couple of things like, just hang out in the lounge with the big logo, the cross and relax in the break room, right? Maybe you could do that.
Right. Or you can be a really good loyal employee in your company swag and read up on the latest company employee handbook policies.
Or maybe you could just walk right into like an IT support room, right? And get access to laptops that are being imaged with, BitLocker keys and all that good stuff.
Or you can hang out in the company break room and indulge in their delicious Folgers Crystals ground brew.
Or maybe you could walk up to the wall phone and, call the next branch with a, verified internal extension that you can't spoof and say, hey, I'm working on the printers. I'm going to come over here in 15 minutes just to let you know. And that might work out really well.
Right. And then we typically have people open doors for us when we wear the cheapy branded company material.
And then maybe, you can actually use it to finally get to that server room. But, when you get to that server room, sometimes it's really tough because it's locked and you just can't get in. But, oh, wait, yeah, somebody just taped a key onto the side and you have to do is untape it and let yourself in. Cool. And then maybe, Dan, maybe you're trying to go in after hours, right? And, you got in earlier in the day and you need to kill some time. So you decide to maybe go to Dave & Buster's to waste some time and play some skee ball, and you win some tickets. And then you're able to get yourself a nice little inflatable dolphin, and then you install it onto the desk of the person that hired you as like an impromptu calling card. Maybe you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we now put skee ball and network penetration and red teaming on our resumes.
So, that's our story. And we just wanted to share that quick cheat code with you. I think we have some time for some questions if anybody has any questions about this. Oh. Feel free to follow us on social media, and then we're going to have stickers. We're going to go out in the hallway, and you can grab some stickers from us. Thank you all. Enjoy DEF CON.